Fans who watched their team's best starting pitcher work on opening day in 2026 saw them pitch an average of less than 80 pitches.
That's a shame.
And sure, if we eliminate Paul Skeens' 37-pitch clunker, helped in large part by O'Neal Cruz, it bumps up to just over 81. But 2026 isn't the first year where fans found themselves largely shortchanged by their team's best on opening day, and it's certainly not going to be the last. In this video, I'm going to take a deep dive into just how little we all got this year, how it compares to what fans used to get in the not-so-distant past, and why it's a trend that, if anything, will only get worse. As always, at least since 1998, 30 starting pitchers were given the honor of towing the rubber for their team on opening day in 2026. On paper, the game may be just as significant as an early May Tuesday nighter, but there is no denying that opening day just hits different. Every team has a clean slate, and even though some teams are clearly more built to be competitive than others, anything can happen, and Game 1 is your team's first chance to show you why this year could just be magical. So how well exactly did this year's crop of 30 actually do? The 30 starters combined to pitch 148 in the third innings while giving up 61 earned runs. Good for a combined ERA of 3.7.
That's not so bad.
It really isn't, and if you compare it to recent history, it's pretty well par for the course. Opening day starters have not combined to pitch more than 158 and 2/3 innings, 10 1/3 more than this year over the past 5 seasons, having given up between 57 and 76 earned runs over those same years, and having pitched to a combined ERA between 3.23 and 4.48. So if things were fairly ordinary, what's there to fuss about? It's the fact that the ordinary that we've become accustomed to really isn't very much. The 148 1/3 innings works out to an average of less than 5 innings per pitcher, meaning that most of us were stuck seeing our team's relief corps work for almost half the game. But of course, innings pitched as a metric can be very deceiving. What's far more telling is pitches thrown. As I mentioned off the top, the 30 starters threw an average of only 79.97 pitches in their opening day start. And yes, that was dragged down by the Paul Skeens and Shane Smith outings, but there are clunkers every year. What this, and pretty well every season in recent history, has been lacking is workhorses that counter those clunkers and drag the average up. Hunter Brown was the only pitcher to throw north of 100 pitches on opening day, hurling 102 over just 4 2/3 for the Astros. In doing that, Hunter became just the second pitcher since 2022 to throw 100 or more on opening day, with Mitch Keller's 100 exactly in 2023 being the only other.
You're kidding, right?
Behind Brown, only 4 starters threw more than 90 pitches, with most, including those who looked great on the mound, like Max Fried, Joe Ryan, Garrett Crochet, Christopher Sanchez, and Kevin Gausman, all getting the hook between 80 to 89 pitches. This is certainly by design and intentional, and I'll get into the why of that shortly. But for now, let's see how this compares to what we used to be able to expect on opening day not that long ago. Quick pause, if you enjoy baseball content like this, please quickly drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe. YouTube has been doing a strange thing where they are holding back my content for a few days before properly distributing it, and every ounce of engagement I can get as a newer channel helps to combat that. Thanks. As a means of comparison, I decided to pull all of the opening day numbers from 4 seasons in the not-so-distant MLB history books: 2015, 2010, 2005, and 2000. In all 4 of these campaigns, the 30 starters combined to throw more than 165 innings, with them combining to throw as many as 184 1/3 in 2000 and 185 1/3 in 2015. That's close to 40 more innings than they did in 2026. Of course, spread out across 30, that works out to an average of between 5 1/3 and 6 innings of work, which isn't a huge jump from the slightly less than 5 we got this year, but again, the average number of pitches tells a much better story. In all 4 of those seasons, the starters threw an average of more than 92 pitches on opening day, compared to the 76 to 84 we've seen over the past 5 campaigns. The primary driver behind these substantially higher average pitch counts was the number of quote-unquote workhorses. Unlike the only 2 total pitchers that threw 100 or more pitches on opening day over the past 5 years, 37 different guys crossed the 100 pitch plateau in these 4 highlighted seasons, including 13 of them in 2005 alone. And it wasn't just guys that were flat out dealing, as even Roy Oswalt, who on opening day for the Astros in 2005 gave up 6 runs over 7 hits, still gave his team 106 pitches and 6 innings of work. And Kevin Apier, who gave up 6 runs on 8 hits in 2000, still gave the Athletics 112 pitches and 6 innings on the mound. A team's ace was a team's ace, and the view used to be that even if they weren't at their best on a particular day, they were still one of your best options. And most importantly, you expected them to eat innings. That expectation led to fans seeing gems like David Price's 8 2/3 a shutout ball on opening day for the Tigers in 2015 over 101 pitches. And most notably, the big unit Randy Johnson's 8 2/3 on opening day for the D-backs in 2000 on 133 pitches.
Wow.
Those are outings that we as baseball fans are very unlikely to ever see again, especially on opening day. So now, let's explore why. The first big reason behind this shift is the health and well-being of the players. Pitchers are throwing harder and nastier than ever, as the rise in strikeout totals to over 40,000 a season since 2017 suggests. But doing that not only more rapidly increases pitch counts, but also takes a serious toll on the body. Teams used to use spring training to ramp pitchers up to their max by opening day, while today it's most common to hear teams aiming to get their starter up to around 80 pitches in their final spring outing, in hopes of getting that or perhaps slightly more from them in their first regular season start. Most teams, as we saw again this year, will have a pitch count in mind and will make that first call to the pen when their starter gets close to that, even if the outing is going great. That number typically grows over the course of the season, but is especially enforced early, hence why we all saw so little of each team's ace in 2026. Beyond health concerns, the second big driver behind this shift is the change in philosophy from eating innings to targeting specific matchups. Approaches like not letting a starter go through the order a third time, or having predetermined pockets in the lineup where a certain reliever is going to pitch is commonplace across nearly every organization. And it's because the analytics say so.
No! God, please, no!
It seems like almost every team has a guy or two that throws 100 with movement out of the pen, to go along with the one who neutralizes lefties. And managers love giving themselves every possible advantage they can late in games. But because of this, starters are expected to navigate through adversity a lot less than they used to, and fans are seeing them for less and less, especially early in the season, but also not exclusively, as no MLB pitcher has averaged over 100 pitches per outing since 2022, when both Luis Castillo and Sandy Alcantara barely did. Meanwhile, in 2011, 43 pitchers averaged more than 100 per outing, with Jared Weaver and Justin Verlander both averaging over 113.
Wow.
While I'm not quite ready to proclaim the state of current starting pitching in baseball as the death of the deep outing altogether, after what we saw again across the league this past week, I am ready to officially pronounce the death of the deep outing on opening day. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other recent one ranking all 30 opening day starters from S tier to D tier. And be sure to subscribe for plenty more baseball content.